Hey guys, so first of all, I'm not dead. I know I haven't been uploading in over a month, but that's probably because this whole entire time I've been working on a base in onemoreblock.com. Just a subtle, small base. I mean, I haven't shown it on a YouTube video yet, but it's only a little insane. And the reason that I actually haven't been making videos on building this thing is because then I wouldn't have gotten this much done. And that's because if I actually want to make a video, then I would have to actually record, and then I don't want to skip things while I record. So that's why I haven't been, making videos on this. But anyways, that's not what the video is about. But before I actually go to what the video is actually about, just please subscribe and like and do all that stuff. Just please. I am not doing very well on YouTube right now. I have a total of how many subscribers gained? 0. Okay, now let's actually head on to the video. Minecraft trees. You guys have all seen it, and it does not look the best. So, first of all, let's go through some tips on how to make this a little bit better. First of all, if you actually look up a picture of trees, then you can actually see that a tree is not, first of all, not just one thing coming out of the ground, and it isn't blocky, because obviously, I'm not actually the best at building trees, but this is a tree which I was actually pretty proud of before I realized how, bad it was. So first of all, here it is. The thing that I want you to know is that trunks in trees are way shorter than the actual bit with the leaves. So as you can see, that is definitely not portrayed here well at all. So this trunk is about 1.2 times the height of the actual tree bit, when in reality, the actual bit with the leaves are just way taller than the trunk. So first of all, there's that, and second of all, this is kind of not a very good tree in width. So for this actual tree, it would have to be about there to there, all the way up, like pretty tall. So this would actually have to be pretty ginormous. Also, something that I want to say is that with trees, this is something that I like about this. Trees don't have many leaves on the inside of it, right by the trunk. And say if you would actually see a YouTuber like Good Times with Scar, who's an amazing builder, probably one of my favorite builders in Minecraft just in general, you would actually see that with his trees, he fills it all in. And then it does look very good at the end, but he fills it all in and it's just a bit packed. But with a tree, you should always make it so it actually has leaves on the outside. Not quite this little though. That's something that I also don't like about this tree. Now there is another thing that I want to mention, and it is on the Hermitcraft server with another hermit. You've probably seen this base. This is Iskal's Omega tree, and it is insane. But there is something that I'm going to critique. Not that I don't love this base. Oh, this is such a good base. So someone actually finished this Omega tree, and the shape was pretty good. It was all up, and it looked really good. But still, with that, the trunk was taller than the actual bit with the leaves. It was about like that. That video is very impressive, and it will be in the description. But something that I noticed there was that with the branches on the bottom, I saw that it doesn't really work like this. That the branches are on the bottom just going out and then the leaves are on top. That's not quite how it works. The branches would have to go out and then droop down a little bit. Meanwhile, there being branches downwards and upwards and everything like that. So there will also be leaves on the underside too. Which honestly, this thing looks very good and I'm still loving the base. But that is just a slight critique. And here is another thing which, good job, Iskal, this is insane. Yeah, roots. Trees are not just circular. They have these roots going up. And Iskal portrayed this very, very well, and I definitely couldn't do this. But as you can see, the roots just go out, just like this, and then they go down, which is kind of how trees are normally. But something else that I wanted to mention about this, just a small critique, this area where the branches collide with the actual trunk, it is very rough. So with this, I would make it so it would go out like that, and then go out something like that, so it's a more subtle curve. If we're going almost straight up to almost straight to the side in about 10 blocks. That is not very smooth. But that's just a small critique. But right now, with all the things that you guys have learned, I will actually show you in a time lapse how to do it, and hopefully you guys will actually make more sense of it, because this wasn't a very good explanation. So let's go. While this time lapse is beginning, I just have to say that I'm not very good at building oak trees specifically. I'm just more better at making spruce trees. But anyways, I think that I'm doing pretty good on this specific one. So as you can see right now, I'm just using what I showed you, as in saying that you should be going out and spreading out with your branches in a tree, and make sure that it's a pretty fluid motion from the trunk going into the branches. I said before that the area with the branches and leaves should always be taller than the part just with the trunk. And with this, keep in mind, I did not do that in a very good way. I sort of made it just a tiny bit taller. But as you can see from this, I am starting to actually add the leaves onto it. Leaves should only really go onto the outside, bottom, and top of it. There aren't really too many leaves on the inside, as you can see from this shot right here. And also, trees have leaves that are hanging down. This is a really cool thing that I love on Scar's trees, but the thing is that he just makes it all leaves, which I don't really like because that's not how real trees are. Also, if you actually make a tree, I didn't do it on this tree, but you can add like spruce slabs and stairs just to give it that extra little bit of detail. And technically you don't even have to add leaves on a tree if you want a different atmosphere, or also you can change these oak leaves to a different type of leaf or a different color for a different type of tree. But as you can see with the shape of the tree, it's more like a mushroom instead of like a box or an oval shape. And that's because the tree always wants light, so it goes up. And as you can see, I think that this thing looks actually really, really good. So right now I'm actually adding some jungle leaves, because adding just a tiny bit of texture, even if it's just pretty subtle, it looks really nice. I just turned it from daytime to nighttime just because you can add some light with using chains and using some lanterns on the bottom, which actually give a really nice atmosphere. You can do soul lanterns like I'm doing right now, or for a different atmosphere, you can just use some normal lanterns, as I'm changing right now. So basically, that is it. And now I'm going to show you around in a little bit more detail. So honestly, I really love the look of this tree. This is probably one of my favorite trees that I've actually built, at least oak trees. And as you can see, it even looks pretty good from the bottom. And what I was saying with these lanterns, it's good for lighting. So if I actually turn it to nighttime, it's actually a pretty good way to light up your builds and your area. And you can also add spruce stairs, slabs, and stuff, as I said before. But now turning it back to day, you can see that this is what I've been saying. From the inside, you shouldn't have that many leaves because it usually just doesn't have leaves on the inside of a tree. So it's just really on the outside, which that makes it look really good. And also that's how most trees are. Also, this tree trunk, it's a little bit too tall, but it still looks really good. And keep in mind, this whole entire video is just for oak trees. If you guys want me to show you guys how to make a different type of tree, then just comment that down below. But anyways, that is gonna be probably it for the video. I hope that you actually enjoyed this video, and also I hope that this really helped you. Anyways, that's gonna be it. Please subscribe, like, and do whatever. And see you next video. Hopefully it's not gonna be in a month and a half. See ya!